to the Birdhouse Rules. I'm Andrea, of course, and I just wanted to talk about some books that I've been reading. Here on the channel, I wanted to start talking about more books that I've been reading. One of my goals for 2024 is to read more nonfiction. I read a ton. I read a lot. I read a lot of books. But I don't read enough nonfiction. So that's one of the things that I wanted to do in 2024. So I wanted to talk about a couple of books that I've been reading. The first one I have been reading is Fit God's Way. It's by Kim Dolan Leto. She actually has a YouTube channel, and I think she used to be like a fitness industry, like fitness model. She talks about that a little bit in the beginning of her book, and she has a YouTube channel. She has a podcast, and all kinds of things. What interested me about this book is with my health issues that I have, and obviously I need to lose weight, and so with those things in mind, it's been hard to find people who have the same mind about food and fitness and that kind of stuff as I do, which is odd. But and a lot of the ones that do are not Christians, or that's not something they proclaim. They don't. That's not like a lead factor in their fitness journey or health journey. But she is. My whole thought behind it is eat God's way, fit God's way, to eat foods that we've got away from, just whole foods, foods that the Lord made and our bodies know how to use, metabolize like our body should. And so that's why I like this. I'm a little more than halfway, as you can tell probably here. I'm right there. And she does not use the King James Bible. That's one of the big things about it. And I find that when they change the Bibles that they're using, of course, that changes the context and the meaning of the scriptures that they use. So that's going to be an issue going forward. And all the books that I read, you'll hear me complain about that a lot and everything. I am King James only. But so what I do instead is I just look up her scriptures with my King James Bible. So any kind of book like this, or any other kind of any scriptural book that has Bible references in it, I will use my King James Bible next to it. So, but she has different framework and stuff, and I really like it so far, and I'll keep you guys updated when I completed it. But her biggest thing is whole God-made foods, and focusing on that, and then focusing on reading your Bible, focusing on your relationship with the Lord and your relationship with food and fitness, so it's all connected, and we're doing it the way that He wants us to do. Because obviously, when we're as Christians, we want to be the best versions of ourselves to do His work, and so I really like that she focuses on that. this. I don't think I've said anything about it since I started reading it and told you guys I was going to read it. Sorry if you can hear my washer. It's running. Chip's got to check everything out. Sit down here, buddy. Sit down. I really like it so far, actually, and I find it really helpful. A lot of it is stuff that we already know, but it's putting it, or that you've heard or you assume you know, like eating whole foods, eating meat and vegetables and God's foods is what she calls it, food that God made, not processed food. We know that, but then applying it to our life is a different thing, you know what I mean? And so she talks about giving it to God and praying about it and putting everything in that lens. She does use other versions other than the KJV, so if that's a thing for you, just make sure you have your Bible next to you and you can look up the scriptures. I highly recommend looking them up anyway, because it just reinforces the teachings and it encourages you. You know, the more that we can be encouraged in our faith and in our spirit to do these things, because ultimately the goal is to be healthy enough, at least for me, to be able to serve the Lord better and be able to be with my family more and be active with my kids more and do more. And so she puts everything in that scope. And she talks a lot about giving it to the Lord, and a lot of times we think, well, the Lord doesn't care if I lose weight, or the Lord doesn't care if, you know, what foods I eat. Well, the truth is, He wants to be involved in every aspect of our life. And if we're like I am, to the point where health-wise, I have a lot of physical limitations now, and I know just for the short time that I've been applying these practices, because I started reading it a couple months ago actually, but we've had a lot of stuff going on, and so I actually started trying to diet and exercise and eat healthier and think more about those things since about April 1st, and I have felt an increase in how I feel physically just by eating better. And I have been able to gain a little bit of strength, so I'm not as weak, and I've been able to walk more and do a little bit more activity-wise. I still struggle with fatigue, and we've had several loved ones pass away in the last few months, and so grief really affects my body and how I feel. It does that for everybody. It affects everybody differently. I know that's a thing, but for people with autoimmune diseases, it's even more so. So, and the mailman came by and Chip's got to go bark at it. Anybody who has an autoimmune disease, you know, like when you're stressed out or you have high emotions or anything like that, you feel them more physically than a healthy person would. So anyway, it's really interesting. I really like it so far. I am close to done with it. I'm on 220, and these are the like tables and reference guides in the back. Let's see. The appendix starts there. So I only got about 30 more pages left. So, and it's really helpful. And I think even though sometimes we know these things, it's nice to have it reinforced. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to lend my copy to a friend when I'm done with it.